Hey, everybody, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Pardon me. Hey, Kathleen with my Alabama Farm Life, welcome in. Heather from Milk and Honey Heritage Farm, welcome in. Rob's Atonement Gardening, welcome in. Hey, Gail,
Hello, hello.
how are you?
Doing good. I just had to run and go do something real quick, and then I heard you calling me from the other room. I was like,
Did
"Oh
you?
no!" Yeah,
I'm sitting in my other room today. Just been the allergies have really been hitting me hard, and I thought I'd sit in here and just be a little more comfortable. So if it's too dark, I am sorry.
no, it's okay.
Hey, Blue, welcome in. And Jamie's Country Living, Tell Us Treasures, welcome in.
Hi,
Uh,
Jen, Rob, Heather, Kathleen, Deanna. It's Deanna, right? Blue, welcome in.
yep. And Dee's Garden Adventure. Yep. Our guest today, Robyn from Garden State So and So, was not able to join us today. All I'll say is if you are a praying person, if you could just lift her up in prayer today, that would be a really great thing for her. She needs some prayers. So, hey, Jamie, welcome in. Yeah, did everybody catch Susan's live? That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was good. It's
Yeah.
nice hearing Kevin from Tuber Chat talk in a more casual fashion or whatever. Of course, he said some similar things, uh, but yeah, I always learn something when I listen to him talk.
Right? Yeah, me too. I mean, I was with my students, so sometimes it was a little hard to like I would get lost in the conversation on what was taking place.
Yeah.
So,
Hello, the bud
but
fiends.
I guess all of us have had some types of trolls on our channels or our page or thanks, Jamie, you know. So, I try not to let those get to me anymore. I just scroll by them.
Yeah, I know. I've had some on both of my channels recently, and
Have you?
I just blow it off. Just blow it off. The
Well,
more
do
people you get on your channel, the more trolls you get. So that comes with
yeah,
the having a bigger channel is the trolls come with it, unfortunately.
it does. Do you remember that first day you and I were testing the whole live thing together? And that person came on cursing up and down the Bible and Christians and all that stuff. I was like, oh
Hmm.
my gosh, who is this person?
Yeah, and then you started setting it on the subscriber only mode, right?
Yeah,
I
yep,
thought so. Yeah.
yep,
It helps. That really helps.
it
I
does.
One thing I can tell you guys, if you're going live with other people, I can tell you I learned something new today. So Tina sent me the link earlier today, and every time I would go into a live, her and whoever else was in there would be talking to me, and I'd be still setting up the live. So I figured it out today. She sent me the link, and I could set it up before the live started because I've
Oh,
been
good.
doing it as I go in. So it will let you set it up. And then I actually went in from my phone and added some things into my details. And now that I know I can do that, one of the things I've been wanting to do is put my shout outs in my description box that I was going to do for that day. I didn't have enough time to do it today because it was literally right before. But yeah, that's pretty
That's
cool.
good to know.
Learn
That's
something
really
new.
great to know.
So if you're going in with me or somebody else, you can go. If they give you the link before the live starts, you can. That's why I was there, but I wasn't there because I went in the other room to do something. I just set up the stop cam and the mute. That way, if you started, you wouldn't hear any interruption over here.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Um, but that's good information to know. I'll know that the next time too that I can do that, you know?
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. So that's nice.
Yeah,
Nice to know and nice to have. So
absolutely. So what have you been up to, Gail? Just really quick.
I today I planted a couple more of those banana squash that had been sent to me.
Yeah.
I figured I've been wanting to try eggplant, and there was some seeds for that. I'm not going to have enough room to grow more than two, but I thought I would put two down on the end there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anything about what you're supposed to companion plant, but I'm going to stick a couple in there. But I
No.
looked up the banana squash yesterday, and some of them are yellow and some of them are pink, but they get pretty big. And the person that sent me these seeds sent me rare seeds from his own garden, and he's kind of like an extreme gardener. So he sent me all these really cool things, and I got in there and started messing with them. There's 7 varieties of those giant pumpkins, and I need to find out if you have to plant those in pairs or if I can just plant one of each variety.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you'll have to do some research on that,
Seven,
right?
7 is a lot. So I only
It
had
is.
3 areas ready because the MI Gardener pack I got only came with 3 in it. So I decided I'm not going to plant the MI Gardener ones at all. I'm just going to plant the ones that Ryan from Heavenly Hills Homestead sent me, because MI Gardener is not looking for me to plant these seeds, but this other person wants to know if I can grow these. And I'm not going to say I want to be successful. I've grown regular pumpkins, but I've never got giant ones. I've just got regular size ones like what you would get at Walmart.
Oh, that's nice, Rob. Where did you go have lunch at today? I made, so aside from my student being here, I made my soft sourdough sandwich bread, and then
Mhm.
I opened up 2 jars of, like, I think in the bulk canning book it's called uh, pot roast in a jar. It has
Mhm.
carrots and potatoes, but it reminds me of a stew, and that's how I treat it.
Ooh, it
And
sounds
then
good.
it was good because it's rainy and cold here, and so I popped that open for lunch and maybe even dinner because there's still some. And then I have to go. Tonight is our church group, and I have donuts and pretzels. I'm in charge of dessert, so it's pretzels and donuts tonight. So I have
You
that
don't
to
have to worry
do.
about dinner tonight either because you'll be eating with everybody else, right?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Nice. I know we're going to have barbecue chicken tonight. I don't know what else we're going to have to go with it. And I was thinking probably a salad because I
Yeah.
have all that nice lettuce in my garden, and people were talking about their lettuce bolting already. So I'm like, well, I better just go ahead and enjoy this lettuce while I have it. But I don't remember mine bolting. I think it's because I planted it right next to the house and the planters. So I think it gets some shade during the day. So I
Hmm.
think that's why mine kind of lasts for a while. But so far, no signs of bolting.
That's great
No,
news. That's great news.
it is
Jamie, it's they're hot soft pretzels like you would get. That's the pretzels I'm making.
like you would get in a like in a booth or something, or at the mall or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Not that I go to the mall, but I
Yeah.
remember they had those a long time ago when I had been to a mall. But I'm not much of a mall shopper, really.
I'm just I'm not sure why none of the moderators are like sharing out things. I put a whole bunch of moderators out there last week, so I'm gonna go try and do that again. And
Ooh, yeah, well,
that's just strange. I don't know. Oh, but I did get up on Rumble. I know we had been talking about Rumble.
uh-huh, yeah. I'm on there and I put out a short, but I need to have some time to mess with it, and probably it's going to be little by little until I have time to really mess with it real good. But I downloaded a short and scheduled it, and that was
Oh,
like
that's good.
that's all I did so far. I'm gonna work on it.
I posted my first yesterday, and it is really tricky
I'm gonna
to
I'm gonna work on it. Sorry, I had my phone volume on and I
me
just
too,
yep.
because I'm putting people on as moderators.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah,
So
I pretty much have
Jamie,
everybody
Jamie, did you get yours?
moderators. Yeah, I pretty much have all the moderators.
I made you one, Jamie. Did you receive it? Yep, Jamie got it. And share, you should be able to get yours too, because I just did that again. Yeah, you're a moderator. You should be able to share. If you can start sharing out the links, that would be great.
Yeah, sometimes you go into lives and you're at a place where you can sit down and do links, and there's other times when you have other things going on, you're just listening but you can't be posting links. So
Right.
we're understanding of that. That's, yeah. Because I know on Sunday Fun Day, I'm a moderator for Garden State Gardener.
Yes.
But it depends on what's going on that specific day as to whether I can put the links out or not.
Yeah, I wasn't able to join last night. I was in bed not feeling well. I was done last
I
night.
watched the first one, but I was too tired by the time it got to the after party thing. I didn't get to do that. Hello, Tellus Treasures. I had a couple of numbers come up on my phone, so I don't know if either of those was your sister. But if she'll like text me her number,
Okay.
hello or whatever, that way I could program her, because I don't answer random numbers.
Yeah.
I had some, and I thought to myself later, I was like, oh, what if one of those is her sister? And I was like, oh no, that would be bad. So
hey.
I have a joke for y'all. We're about
Let's welcome in P&J Homestead Adventures. Glad you can make it. We
Hello,
appreciate
Paula
you.
Jackson. Hello, Tella's Treasures. Welcome in.
Yep.
Go ahead. Why didn't anyone laugh at the gardener's jokes? Anybody got an answer for that one? Why didn't anybody laugh at the gardener's jokes?
Yeah, type it in type your answer in the comment section so we can see. Thanks, Jamie and Tella and Kathleen for putting up links. We appreciate that. Nope, no guesses?
No guesses. I'm going to read it again and then I'll give you the answer. Why didn't anyone laugh at the gardener's jokes? Because they were too corny.
Did you say too corny?
Because they were too corny.
That's a good one. That's funny.
Yeah, I like that one.
My gardener talked to me about edible herbs I can grow. It was sage advice.
Yeah, I have some sage growing in my yard. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know for sure if the seeds come up. The only thing I hate about a perennial bed is that you can't tell if what's coming up is a weed or the actual plant that you want.
I know.
It's so annoying. It drives me insane. And it looks terrible. I'm like, if that's weeds, it's terrible. Now, if that's lemon balm, I'm happy. If that's weeds,
right.
I'm not so happy.
And you'll know as it gets bigger.
Yeah, I will. But right now it's too small for any kind of an app to pick out what it is,
Right.
So, yeah. So there's that. So I have a story to tell you guys, and I'm really, really, really embarrassed. Yesterday, Heather with Milk and Honey Heritage Farms texted me a picture of her banana bread. And I was like, oh, that looks so good. I'm going to make some zucchini bread. So I take my zucchini out and I put the bag of frozen zucchini shred in the sink. And I go about and I get all the ingredients and I put it in my KitchenAid and everything like that. And, I bake it and I try it. And I'm thinking to myself, something's not right with this. It doesn't taste right. Something's wrong with it. And I was talking to my mom on the phone and I was like, it's dry or something. There's something wrong with it. It's dry. This morning, there was a pan in the sink that was soaking. That bag of zucchini was up underneath it. I never put the zucchini in it at all.
Sometimes that happens.
Here, Heather has the most beautiful banana bread ever. And I am the one who didn't put the zucchini in my zucchini bread.
Oh, that happens.
You know how I can fix that though? I have another one in there, another bag of the zucchini.
Well, did you use the zucchini you had in the sink after all?
No, because it had defrosted overnight, so it was not good anymore.
Oh,
but I do have another one in the freezer. So I know it's terrible. I actually considered, should I tell you guys this story or not? And let me tell you, I make some really good zucchini bread, but I was like, something's wrong. And I thought, well, maybe I can't really see the zucchini because it's shredded because it had
Right.
been frozen.
Right.
It didn't even hit me until this morning. It's like, oh my gosh, that's what's wrong with my zucchini bread. It literally was not zucchini bread. It was just bread.
Oh.
I was so
I think we've
embarrassed.
all made similar mistakes where we forgot an ingredient inside our breads or a recipe that we're making. I'm guilty of it too.
Oh, I was in the house by myself and I was turning bright red. I was so embarrassed I did that. Even though nobody knew, I didn't make a video or send a picture to anyone. I just had it, laying out on the counter, but covered so nothing could
Yeah.
get to it. And I texted my hubby, but I didn't tell him yet. I just texted him, I was like, did you get a zucchini muffin this morning? I just wanted to see what he said, if he would tell me the truth that there was something wrong with them. So I'll have to look later and see if I got a message back from him. But yeah,
That's
that
funny.
was bad. I cannot believe I did that. But I was like, actually wrote it down to tell my zucchini bread story today on this
Yeah,
live.
absolutely.
I was like, I have to tell that story. I cannot believe I did that. It was so embarrassing.
I'm
But
sorry, girl.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I have plenty of eggs. I have some zucchini. I mean, all the zucchini bread literally takes like 11 or 12 ingredients. I mean, it is a lot of ingredients. Fortunately, though, I have everything I need to make it again. It's one of those things.
That's good.
I don't have to go to the store,
Yeah.
to get any ingredients. Everything you have flour and vanilla and salt and baking powder. I mean, you should have all that stuff in your pantry, hopefully. So I was so excited. I'm like, "Ooh, I'm going to make zucchini bread." And
That's like not having chocolate chips for your chocolate chip cookies, Gail.
I know. And let me tell you how much it impacts the flavor and the moistness. It
Absolutely.
impacts the moistness
Yeah.
and the consistency of the of the bread. I was like, make
Heather,
it.
you want her to make a video of the zucchini bread?
I have a video of me making zucchini bread successfully. So I don't think I'm going to make a video of me making zucchini bread unsuccessfully. If you look up Gail Southern Living Zucchini Bread, you can find me making zucchini bread at least twice. And both those times I did it really well. So I was just like, something's wrong with this. It's dry and there's just something wrong with it. I just couldn't put my finger on it until this morning, right up underneath a pan. The pan I had cooked chicken and rice the night before, and there was a pan that was soaking because the rice tried to stick to the bottom of the pan.
Right.
It was soaking, and I was like, yeah. So it hid under there. Didn't even realize it till the next morning. That's why my zucchini bread was not good.
Well, make it again. And I bet you won't forget the zucchini this time.
No, not even. No.
That's so funny. Did we miss anybody coming in? I thought there was somebody that had come in. I'm scrolling to see. Oh, welcome in, Beverly Moffat. Thanks for being here.
That was, yeah. I don't know if I'll do it again today or if I'll wait till tomorrow, but I will make it again. But now I know what was wrong with it. I kept thinking, I followed the recipe, and because there's so many ingredients, I usually always have the recipe right in front of me because I don't want to get it wrong, because it's just very detailed. Not
Right.
not all recipes are flexible. Zucchini bread is a science. So what I didn't get right was putting in that moisture from the zucchini and the consistency of the zucchini. Oh man,
Well, it happens to the best of us.
it
I'll
happened to
tell
me.
you. I got
Really?
another joke for you.
Okay.
Which vegetable did Noah leave off the ark? Anybody?
I know it, but I'm not going to say it.
Well, text me it if you have your phone nearby, and I'll tell you whether or not you're right. Suburban Hillbilly got it. Good job, Suburban.
Yeah.
Welcome in. She just must have showed up.
The only reason I know the answer is I looked at that same joke. Isn't that
Did you?
funny?
That is funny. That's the only two jokes that I have today. I don't have any jokes, but I do have some shout outs. Some maybe be repeats from last week, and some either that you did or that I did, but I think they're deserving of another shout out. Sorry, I can't speak. So I'm going to start with Beverly Moffat. She is a small channel. You should go check her out.
Great supporter.
Yeah, always a supporter here.
Always in the lives, watching
Yep.
videos, joining giveaways.
So she's in this live now. So if somebody can go and find her channel, maybe you can post it in the link for me. That would be great for us. So yeah, go over and stop by and say hey to Beverly. Maybe subscribe, comment on some of her videos, whatever. Do you have shout outs too?
I do. My first shout out is going to go for Blackberry Rock Homestead.
Yes.
Her name is Luann. She lives in Missouri. She has 664 friends on her channel, and she does gardening, and she has a lot of animals, and she has and participates in collaborations. So she's a really sweet, supportive woman, and
yeah, absolutely.
Kathleen said, "Here is a successful zucchini bread from Gail Southern Living."
Oh my gosh. Who did that? Jan?
Kathleen.
Where is it at? There you go. That's so funny. Thanks, Kathleen.
Thank you.
I gave this person a shout out last week, and I'm going to give him another shout out, and that's Jerry over at 49 More. He has been a true blessing to my channel, and I've been watching his videos. Go over there and subscribe. He has a lot of information, and he has a lot of wisdom on farming, the fencing for your livestock. Go check him out, guys. Go check him out.
Cool. I wanted to do a shout out for Luann's Kitchen.
Yeah.
She has 125 friends on her channel, and she does some cooking and canning over there. And I believe she's in the middle of a March canning madness.
Okay.
So if you like canning and cooking recipes.
Yep. And then today I came across, it was either today or yesterday, I can't remember which. It's a craft channel. It's called Dawn Yarn Doll.
Oh, I like Dawn Yarn.
Yeah. It's a tongue twister to say, right?
Dawn Yarn Doll. Yeah,
So,
she participated in Fall Fest 23, I believe.
Okay.
I believe she participated in that collaboration last year. So that's how I got used to her.
I thought she was really nice, and I checked out her channel. So go check out her. If somebody can go grab her link, Dawn Yarn.
Really fun lives. Dawn Yarn Doll.
Mm-hmm. And her name is DAWN.
Yep.
Thanks, Kathleen. You have any others?
I also wanted to do a shout out for P&J's Homestead Adventure. And P&J stands for Paula and Jason.
Yes.
We have 522 friends on their channel. They live in New York, and they do gardening.
Yeah, so they are huge supporters.
They have some great videos. I watched some of them yesterday.
Yep, and they support your channel. They support my channel. I always see them in our chats, and even, I think they were even on Susan's chat today. And
yeah, they're everywhere.
Thanks, Kathleen.
Feels like
they're really great people.
Thank you so much for putting those links up.
We're glad you're here.
I have another joke for you.
Okay.
Why can't the flower ride his bike?
Because he has no pedals.
That's right, because
Is
he got
it?
two petals. Yep, that's
I
it.
was trying to think, what does a flower and a bike have in common?
Ah,
Yeah, well,
bouncing
P
on
and
that.
J, you guys are awesome. Welcome in, Susan, the Hillbilly
You're
Chicken Ranch.
welcome. Hi, Susan. So, my other shout out is for Jamie's Country Living. We've
Yes,
been doing lives with her on Mondays, and
yes.
she does have over 1,800 friends on her channel. She's a really good mod. She's always putting up links. She's always commenting on videos and joining into collaborations. She's had
Hmm.
a couple of collaborations too, I believe. And she does cooking and gardening on her channel. So Jamie is really, really supportive and really sweet. And she grows a lot of flowers in her yard. I noticed that from her garden tour club video.
Yeah, if you haven't checked, she just made a chicken and dumpling soup. And
Ooh.
she used, in Pennsylvania Dutch, they're called pot pie squares. So the soup like she made is called pot pie, chicken pot pie soup. I used
Mm,
to sell it in my store.
that sounds good.
It really is.
Mm.
It's like chicken and dumplings, and
Yeah,
she made it.
I've been wanting to make chicken and dumplings. I know it's spring and we're going into summer, but I'm just like, just
I,
one more. I kept saying to myself, one more soup, one more soup. I'm only going to do one more soup. But yeah, now that
yeah.
I hear chicken and dumplings, now I want some. I
Who was
also
the?
wanted to do a shout out for Possum Outdoors. He's really close to a milestone. He is at 987 friends on his channel.
That's
He's
awesome.
literally 13 away, and he does a lot of fishing and outdoors type stuff on his channel. He is a really good supporter of my Gail Southern Living channel, and he's just really sweet, good Southern mannered man, just real nice guy. But if you guys will go over and make friends with him and try to help him get toward that milestone, because he's been sitting on this 980-ish for a while, and I just really want to try to help him get closer to that goal. I know that that's usually important to people to hit that 1K. So if you guys would go by and check out Possum Outdoors and help him hit that little milestone there that we all like to hit. Thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate it.
Can you get the link for that channel and put it up in the description?
I can't. Well, I don't know if
Well, one of the mods can.
I can send it to you after. Do you want me to send it to you after?
Sure.
I'll
There's
I'll,
there's another shout out that I have, but I'm telling you, I can't read my own writing.
uh-oh.
It's backyard something. Thank you, Jamie.
Oh, Backyard Trucker, the one that was in
Yes, that's it.
the
Yeah.
Backyard Trucker, the one that was in the live. Yeah, I friended that channel earlier in the Hillbilly Chicken Ranches live.
Yeah.
Um, didn't even know that channel existed. Um,
Nope.
and I just kind of added a couple of videos into my watch later list so I wouldn't lose that connection. And I'm trying to remember to go back and watch a video today, but I do have a couple of videos in the watch later list just so he'll know that I visited him today.
Right. So that's backyard trucker.
Backyard Trucker.
Yeah.
Pop.
So, friends, if you did not know, and maybe Gail shouted this out on her up and coming collabs, I'm not sure, but I'm going to be hosting one about grow it and cook it and eat it. And that is about growing from your garden and showing us how you're going to use it to feed yourself or your family. Now, I'm in a different zone, so my garden is not going to be ready to eat out of for a while. But please, if you have something like Gail already has salad or lettuce, please tag me at Life in the Piedmont, and I'm going to start a playlist for that as well.
Yep.
So don't forget that. Welcome in our treasured home.
Yeah, Grow It, Cook It is going to be announced on this week's video.
Okay.
Last week, I don't know what happened to me. Last week, I forgot to do my upcoming collabs video. This
Right.
week, I forgot to put out my garden tour video. I'm like, it's all right. It's not that much going on out there yet. So I'm like, just give yourself a little leeway. I've been under a little bit of extra stress lately. So I'm just like, nobody will even miss it. Just keep on going. Just keep going. So what I did was I realized I had forgot it. So I got the upcoming collabs video coming up this Thursday on Gail's Southern Living. So I skipped a week by accident, but I made up for it and I have it ready to go.
Yeah, see, look at that. Jamie, you can start it. You can do a video on your Italian basil and how you're going to use it.
Yeah, I could do cilantro or lettuce.
You can do that too.
Parsley.
Yeah.
Things going on. I wanted to do a shout out for K&K Crochet. They actually come into these lives a lot. And it's KK is the mom and Kristen is the daughter. And they have 806 friends on their channel. And they do crochet and they join in on collaborations. As a matter of fact, last year they joined in on the hashtag spread kindness like confetti collaboration that this channel did. They actually joined in on that. So they're really super sweet lady, K&K Crochet.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen her here before.
Yep.
Dee's at Garden Adventure. We're talking about the one that I'm starting. It's an open collab called Grow It and Cook It. And I know we're all in different time zones, so I'm not going to be able to even get my garden and a video up for a couple more weeks, I'm sure. But basically, whatever you grow and you harvest, and you bring it in the house, make a video of it and show us how you're going to use that specific ingredient in a recipe or to feed yourself or to feed your family. So, and if you do, just tag me Life in the Piedmont and I will add you to the playlist. I don't have any more shout outs. That I took 4.
One more.
Okay, yeah, I did 4 this week.
I have one more. I had wrote down 7. You didn't say exactly how many, so I was like, well, I just wrote down until wrote down as I thought of things. It's for Taz Adventures.
Yes,
it's my husband, and he has 252 friends on his channel. He does DIYs, and he's been doing a Bible devotional every single day. And so I wanted to do a little shout out for him, just to go by and give him a little encouragement. He's been doing these Bible studies, devotions for about 3 months straight, getting up in the morning and doing these before he goes to work.
Right.
So you guys would go by and offer my husband, Taz Adventures, some encouragement on his journey of doing Bible devotions every day. That would be really sweet.
Yeah, and I'll do one more that because she's in here, she's a mod right now. I'm going to give a shout out. Well, there's 2 I could give a shout out to. First is going to be Kathleen. She has Literature and More, and she does some really great readings out of the Bible to encourage you to help start your day. And then, if I'm not mistaken, she runs some movies over there as well, which are really great movies that maybe you've never heard of or they just don't share anymore. So go check out Kathleen's Literature and More. Help her out. And then my last one will be, it's my sister. She's just starting out. It's called Tell Us Treasures. I'll put that right there. She's one of the mods. Hers is going to be about, she makes her own candles and she does her own little garden and cooking and stuff. So she's just starting out. So maybe she has like one little video up there. That's not very much, but she's working on it and she could use some help as well.
Let's see if I can find her.
Thank you, Kathleen, for putting that up.
I'll try to go and give her a shout out from my other channel.
Thanks.
It's bigger. Thanks. It's bigger. It'll help.
Yeah.
There.
She's working on another video.
I'm trying to think, how do you spell it?
TALL
A.
AS. Tell us treasures. Hey. Yep. Put your link up here to your channel, share. Somebody.
Okay. Does it have a sunflower as the background?
No, this is it right here. I don't know what the background is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
So that's her dog in the picture there with her, Tella. And Tella unexpectedly got ill and they had to put her down on Christmas Day this past year, which encouraged her to be making candles to keep the light going. Because, our fur babies, we love all our fur babies, don't we?
We do.
So So yeah.
And if you're in this live right now, whether you're on Tina's channel or my channel, if you would share this live out on your community tab to
Yep.
help us get a few more people in here, we would
Yep.
much appreciate that. That
And
would
if you don't know what the community tab is, it's a post. It's basically a post. And if you're using your phone, there's usually um, like a box down at the bottom with a plus sign on it where you could, click on that and it will say short video or post. And that's where you would post it as a post and paste the link and it will share out. And give us a thumbs up. Ask us questions. Do you have any questions for us? Gail and I are willing to help answer some questions. The more questions you ask on our pages, the better it is for us to
Mhm.
keep things going. It's about interacting on each of the channels, guys. That's
You're welcome to email me any questions that you may have, gailsouthernliving@yahoo.com. I will answer it. If it's a little more complicated than just typing a message back, I'll try to give you my phone number so we can talk on the phone and I can kind of guide you through it.
Yep. There's Gail's
Thank you.
email. Yep. And if anybody is interested in becoming a guest up here with Gail and I, email her or me and we will add you to the list. So
Yep.
yeah, just let us know.
That would be awesome. And we were going to touch some on compost. So I wanted to name off some of the things that I'm using, either have been using for years or just started using this year.
Yep.
One of them is banana peels.
Okay.
That's one thing. I actually cut mine into 1-inch pieces so they'll break down a little bit easier.
Okay.
And then I've been doing banana water a few years. I'll just cut them into 1-inch pieces and put them in water and let them sit in the refrigerator for about 3 days. And as the plant gets up a little bit, you pour it down toward the base of the plant, and it's supposed to give it some extra potassium, some nutrients. So that's one of the things that I use.
Thank you. Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it.
What are some things that you guys use for compost? If you'll put them in the chat. So
Yeah, let us know.
I'll learn some new things.
Hey, Robyn at Garden State so and so.
Hi, Robyn.
I have an abundance of leaves.
Yep.
Leaves. Last year, I took my corn husk and stuff and dumped it in there and leaves. And I didn't do any coffee grounds. What else did I put in there? Mostly a lot of leaves to make a really nice leaf mulch because when that breaks down, it is really wonderful to use. I mean, you can use. I have grass clippings. Just remember, as long as your stuff like isn't sprayed with any chemicals like that,
Mm-hmm.
you can compost your grass when you mow your lawn. You can do your leaves. You can do, like Gail's doing banana peels. You can do coffee grinds. You can use the ash from your wood stoves or fireplace.
Mm-hmm. Eggshells. The eggshells
Yep.
do take
Eggshells.
about 3 years to break down, but why not invest in your soil 3 years in the future?
Yeah.
Because you'll
So
start
there's
gardening then. So
and it's a way to save yourself money. You may not get the results this year, but if you start it this year, you'll have it for next year's garden. And especially if you live in a place like I do where it's fall and you have a ton of leaves that just literally fall, do that. Use the leaves to cover up your like I did last year. I left a lot of leaves in my grow bags and utilize those leaves to help cover up some of the like the onion and the garlic that I'm growing, because they're going to help and break down back into the. Oh, that's a good one, Jamie.
Epsom salt. I haven't used Epsom salt yet. And when I do the coffee grounds, I also throw the filter in there too because it's
Yeah.
paper. It's
Yeah.
paper. It'll break down. One thing I did learn about leaves from Jason at Green Country Agroforestry
Mm-hmm.
is that when you are laying your leaves down on top of your soil for the winter or in the fall, even if those leaves don't break down all the way, they're still dropping the good stuff
Yeah.
into the soil. It's still, as it rains and moisture goes through those leaves, it's putting down, like, I think it's nitrogen down into your soil. So even if they don't break down all the way and you have to end up scooting them over or throwing something on top of it, you're still getting the benefits from those leaves.
So Jamie is saying directly around the plants. So you would take the Epsom salt, 1 tablespoon to a gallon, and you put that around
Base of the plant.
the base of the plant, like a little pool or something. Yep, branches work really well. And it's stuff like that is what I use to build up my raised beds with. You know, I put cardboard down and then sticks and just yeah.
I'm a budget gardener. Last year, the soil in the pots from last year, I compost
Yes.
in other areas and put soil on top of it. I don't throw mine away because I'm a budget gardener. I know there's probably a lot of reasons why you should not do that, but I have to recycle things around here. I do put new soil in my pots every year, but I dump that into another place that needs dirt. So
I don't refresh my soil I don't dump the soil each year. I keep it a couple of years. I'll add last year I used some really
only in the
great
pots, not in
compost
the raised beds, just in the pots.
just in the pots.
Mhm.
I don't even dump that out, to be honest, Gail. I fertilize it and I build it up with some nice compost, and it seems to be okay.
Yeah.
So I only do that like I don't. I mean, after the third year, I would get rid of it, or the second year, you know. But I don't like every year on it. I don't.
I
But
usually always have an area that needs soil because my husband likes to bring home these big shipping containers. So I always have to have somewhere to put that soil. So I'll put like down branches and then I'll start throwing the potting soil, I mean the soil into those.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And I use chicken manure. When I start pulling up plants, and I have to pull them up a little bit earlier than most people because I'm in Texas and it gets really hot. And so
right.
my plants, as your plants are looking lush and beautiful, I'm having to pull things out and start composting for next year. So that's when I start adding my chicken manure, and I literally compost in place. Sometimes I leave the old plant there. Sometimes I pull it out, or sometimes I just cut it down to where it's still up to the level of the dirt.
Right.
But
That's
yeah, that's how long I leave it. I leave it from fall until like March or April, and then I plant in it. So I don't know how many months that is, but that's how long I leave my chicken manure.
that's okay. I mean, I do mine in the fall, and it sits all winter and spring
Yeah,
until
that's what
so
that's.
that's good. It's better for it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was going to ask you something, um, and I forgot. I was going to ask you. We were talking about. Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Soil compost. I have no access to cow manure, so I do buy mine from my local garden store. I buy some cow manure that's already been composted and is ready to go. I usually buy one bag of that every year, and I use it till it's gone, and then the next year I buy another one.
Jamie, I do the same thing, and I add in some granulated fertilizer when I amend my soil as well. And I did that to the majority of my grow beds and stuff last year, for this year.
Now, a brand new thing that I'm trying this year, and I try at least one new thing every year. So this year, um, I was going to want to try the fish emulsion thing. So I'm trying
Yes.
it this year for the first time, using it a lot like the banana water, where it's wet and you pour it around as the plant is coming up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been using that, and I buy one bag of bone meal per year, and I use that until it's gone. I am going to try to make my own next year, possibly.
That's a really great thing. I hope the fish emulsion works for you.
Yeah, that's
I
something
was I know what I remember. What I was going to ask you. Do you like your compost tumbler that you got off Amazon?
I do. Literally, that compost tumbler is pretty much going to be soil for next year. That's an investment in the future. Kind of like your eggshells. Next year I'll get, but I'll be building that up. It'll take a while. Like it didn't look like it'd be that big, but as I'm starting to fill it, I'm like, it's going to take a while to fill this up. But
Yeah,
also
because
another thing I use for compost is shredded paper. I shred paper. I have a shredder. I shred paper like toilet paper rolls and different
yeah,
things. I shred them and I use that in my compost. So I did go ahead and add some shredded paper to my compost barrel. I also, at the end of the year, like when I'm adding the chicken manure and stuff, sometimes I'll add the shredded paper then to let it break down all winter.
got ya.
I do add the shredded paper. That's another thing I compost. Did anybody come up with anything new that we hadn't heard of?
You're right, Rob. Feed the soil,
Old
not the plant.
branches, yes. Old soil, yes. I do reuse soil. And usually, when I'm filling a really big bed, like when my husband gives me a really huge shipping container to fill, I usually put some big branches on the top and let them break down.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry, guys.
And in my compost barrel, I actually took some smaller sticks and broke them up
Yeah,
and put them in
absolutely.
the barrel. So I'm just saying it's going to be a combo of a bunch of different things. And I know
Yes.
you're supposed to water it. I haven't really used any kitchen scraps in there yet. When I get the right thing, like potato peels or carrot peelings or ends of plants and stuff like that, I'll start adding that kind of stuff, but I haven't done that yet.
Jamie says they say to use tomato food to sprinkle around hostas as soon as they pop through the ground. I like hostas too, but they require shade, and I don't have like I get shade in the morning, but in the afternoon in the front, it's too much sun, and I just don't think they would survive out there. I have a hard time growing certain things in my
Fish blood and bone a lot. The one thing I haven't used is blood meal. I've used bone meal, but I've
I
never
have.
used blood meal. What is the blood meal for? Do you know?
Well, I bought it and sprinkled it around my stuff to deter rabbits away from eating my plants.
Yeah,
That's what I did it for. It's more of a I think it's another if correct me if I'm wrong guys, but I think it's another way to build your soil up. It's to feed your soil. Nitrogen, thank you.
nitrogen. Yeah, so
Mhm.
like leaves, because I think leaves are nitrogen.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. What did you just throw out, Jamie? What
just
did you just throw out? Did I miss something? Any questions on composting, friends?
blood meal.
Maybe. Any questions on composting? Yeah, it's the front of my house is where I get all the sun, and because it's a brick house, that heat radiates off, and it is hard to grow certain things. So, um, I grow everything in pots out front. And this year I have like stepping stones this year that I put out there for my shop, and I hope to have a pot with a different plant out there to bring color to the front of the house.
Mhm. I'm
So,
the opposite. Everything I have is in the backyard. There's nothing in the front yard at all. In the front yard, you can't even tell I'm a gardener unless you can see maybe a mammoth sunflower peeking over the top of the fence.
right, right.
That's about it. That's the only indication that I'm a gardener.
Hey, Christy, welcome in.
Hi, Christy Betts. Yeah, and I've actually used the actual fish heads too, like after you go fishing.
Right.
But a lot of times I don't use that too much because I usually end up giving that to my chickens. We usually give the chickens the fish heads and they eat off of it and they pop the eyeball out and eat it. It's really gross. But yeah, we usually end up giving the fish to the chickens.
Yeah.
But it would be good for your soil.
Yeah, absolutely it would be.
This is
So,
another thing. This is terrible. Go ahead, say what you're going to say, and then I'll tell them my story.
oh, I was just going to tell everybody that the other day I went into Tractor Supply to go get some hay and chicken feed. And I always like to go out to their garden section because I want to see what they have. And they sell exclusively Bonnie Bell plants. they were going for $5.98 for one plant in a container. $5.98. Seeds are $2.79 for a pack. And I was just thinking, how do people go and afford those plants to plant to try and grow a little something? That's expensive, you know?
It's for the quick factor. It's like convenience food. It's the same
Yeah,
thing. It's like convenience gardening, which
I
there,
guess.
I'll admit to you, I have bought pepper plants before that
Well,
are
so
already,
have I.
because I have a terrible hard time growing peppers. I don't know why.
I
But
just think it's so expensive. And
so this is a terrible, terrible thing, and I can't believe I'm going to say it out loud. But about 4 years ago, we had 4 chickens that were killed by a raccoon. So my husband, I believe it was not gardening season. So my husband asked where he could plant them. So I had him plant them, what I call my wild garden, that area
mhm,
right there. Up underneath there, 4 chickens are buried. So it's terrible to say, but things like that are actually fertilizer for the ground, because that's kind of really the way God intended it, for
right.
things die and things live, and so it's terrible to say, and I was so sad when they died. But I do not dig around in that soil, though. I only build it up. I don't dig around. I don't want to accidentally find a skeleton of something. I only add to the soil. I don't dig around in it. There.
No,
I
well,
pop a seed in, and that's it.
right. I will more than likely, because of the issues I have had. And that was something, I don't know, Gail, did we talk about that?
What's
I
that?
know I've talked about how certain things just haven't germinated here.
Mhm.
And I'm changing, I'm not using Jiffy Seed. I think there's something wrong with their stuff. So I'm changing something else. That's what I'm going to do, Jan. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm up in PA all the time. I'll go to the Amish farm stands and go buy some starts and stuff because I just, I'm not going to fool around anymore. So I have a couple of things to up pot, but clearly not my peppers that I had some really great peppers I wanted to try this year, and I'm so bummed about it. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I wish we had an Amish store around here, but we don't. But I've been to one before when I was visiting my sister-in-law in Montana. We visited an Amish store there, and they had some really good
Well,
stuff.
there's some in Oklahoma if you're near Oklahoma.
Yeah, you know,
I
not
just
not for a day's drive.
Okay. That's
But
what I didn't know, like where you were. So,
Texas is so big, and we're in the middle. It would take us a while to get out of Texas to get over
okay.
there. But, one thing I could do is, we're going to go to Missouri this summer for about a week or so.
Yeah.
So what I might do is, I know Jan probably knows where there's an Amish store near her.
Yep. She's the
Maybe
one who posted it.
that we could add that to, maybe hubby and I could go buy one while we're there visiting sometime.
Absolutely.
Go by and visit one and have some money so I can buy a few things.
Yeah. You know what? Sadly, I'm going to have to, Kathleen, and that's okay. I don't mind, if I can get them reasonably priced, then that's what I'll do. I'm
I
not
have
worried about it.
occasionally done it. Sometimes if I'm having a hard time growing a plant, I
Right.
will go to the store and buy a start for those things I'm having a hard time with, or flowers, sometimes flowers. But
Yeah, my flowers took. How about that? So that's what I don't understand. The flowers took, but the other things did not. And it's I think it's the Miracle Grow where the stuff took. The Jiffy stuff didn't take. And what took just died. So I know that something was wrong with that mix.
yeah, I have a little bit of my potting soil mix, and I'm not going to be putting anything else under the grow light. I still have 2 things under the grow light. I have a jalapeno pepper, and I have a marigold flower.
Mhm.
Um, and the marigold's big enough, I can go ahead and throw that out now. But jalapeno's not big enough, so I'm going to leave my grow light on just long enough to get that jalapeno up big enough to where I think it's strong enough to be outside. Also, I have to figure out what pot to put it in too, because
Yeah.
a lot of my bigger pots are already used. So I'll have to figure out which pot I'm going to put it in, but it's not strong enough to be transplanted yet. So I'm going to leave
Okay.
it. And it literally, when I get those two things out from under my grow light, I'm turning it off for the spring summer season.
That's good. I stopped at our nursery yesterday and did pick up some nice soil. It has a leaf mulch in it, and I use it in my garden, and that's what I have used. So I think I'm going to see if I can direct and start some seeds in that to see if that's any better.
Yeah. Yeah. I really prefer direct sow.
Me too.
I will.
But
I
if I
will
direct sow, I can't direct sow peppers. They won't. I don't think they'll be ready in time.
Yeah.
You
The
know.
only reason I only have one grow light, so I have to be very selective what I put under it. And the reason I put peppers under it is because I have such a hard time growing peppers. So they're the exception to the rule. And the reason I do marigolds is I like to have my marigolds up a little ways so I can plant them with my squash, so that the marigolds are up in time to protect those zucchini plants as they come up. Because I like my zucchini, so I have to protect it. So I want that. If I have to go to the nursery and pick up marigolds to make sure I have some up in there to protect them, I will. I'll go grab them because I want them up before the zucchini to start warding off the bad bugs.
Right.
So,
hey, welcome in, living my best life at 60. Glad you're here.
oh, I got another joke.
Okay, we're going to take a joke.
What do trees drink? Anybody got an answer for that? What do trees drink? Hi, Echo.
I love marigolds too. What do they drink, guys?
What do trees drink?
I think I know this joke.
I think you and I looked at the same site because I knew the answer to yours.
We're going to have to talk about that.
I almost wrote it down. I almost wrote down that one, the one about Noah. I almost wrote that one down.
That's funny.
But since there was three, I read them all and then decided what was my favorites. But that was like an honorable mention.
Hey, look. Gear Gridden says the tree drinks mudslides.
That's good too. I like it.
Yeah, that's good.
But Jerry with 49 more got it at root beer. Root beer.
Root beer.
Root beer.
Way to go, Jerry.
Love it. Love it.
That's so funny. I don't have any more jokes, but I could go get a joke.
Yeah, that's my three. She told me to do three, so I did three. I did. This is my homework. I did.
You did. Okay.
A page full of homework.
All right. I'm going to go find another joke then. Since you did three, you overdoer.
You told me three.
Did I tell you three?
You told me three, so I did three. I did exactly what you asked.
Thanks, Gail.
I'm a good student.
You are a wonderful student.
To do.
I'm going to go find another
You didn't
joke.
talk about how many shout outs, though, so I just went to 7 because that's how many I thought of. But yeah.
What is Broccoli's favorite music genre? What is Broccoli's favorite music genre?
I got nothing on that.
Rock and roll.
Oh, no. Rock and roll. Love it.
Dee's Garden absolutely will be praying for you. If you're the praying type, please lift up Dee's Garden Adventure in prayer. God knows the needs and what's going on.
Definitely.
What did the duck say to the funny chicken? Lord help me. What, Jan? Somebody says, got any grapes? I don't know where that's coming from. Jan, did you put the punchline there? I'm confused.
Maybe that's what they thought the punchline was.
Oh. What do you get when you drop a pumpkin?
The Smashing Pumpkins?
Hey, that's a good one.
I don't know. I was
Oh,
guessing on that one. But did Jim put your
no,
punchline?
you quack me up.
You quack me up.
Yes.
Quack, quack.
Hey, Southwest Living with Val, welcome in.
Hi, Val. Very cool. Yeah. Kathleen showed Southwest Living with Val's greenhouse earlier, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I had a greenhouse a few years ago, but we got up some really serious wind and it blew away. So if I ever get another one, it's literally going to be cemented down because
Kathleen, is this an answer to one of the jokes?
probably.
A mess? I don't know what joke. Was that about the
Maybe,
ducks?
oh, maybe it was about the grapes one.
The grapes or the mess or the ducks? You get a mess, right?
Grapes, miss.
Yeah.
What is the number one reason for dry skin?
I don't know. What?
I would say lack of water.
Is this a joke?
But I don't know if it's a
I
joke.
don't know. Is the Southwest Living with Val? Is this a joke?
I
Or is
think
this
it's a joke because it has a question mark. But I would say water. You got to hydrate it.
low vitamin D, low vitamin A, low vitamin K? Shall we go on? There's so many jokes coming in now. This is funny.
What is the number one reason for dry skin? Towels.
Oh Lord, are you kidding me? Okay, hold on. Somebody had a joke here. Here we go. A duck's favorite garden snack is a pack of quackers.
Whackers.
Oh my gosh. You know, it does loosen up the atmosphere, the jokes. I think it's so funny. Thank you for sharing all those
Yeah,
jokes.
it's awesome. That's
Wait
cool.
a second. You drop a pumpkin, I'm not cleaning it up. You get a mess. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Thinking you get a mess. Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, Sherry, sorry, you're a little late on that one. It's not cold weather. It was a towel, is what happens with dry skin, causes dry skin, is a towel.
What causes dry skin? A towel.
You were all going water and vitamins and oh,
I had to go with the obvious water.
I know.
You need
That's so
water.
funny.
That's
Because I couldn't tell it was a joke. That's why. So yesterday I canned 7 quarts of kidney beans and 1 pint of kidney beans.
I had
So
never grown kidney beans before. This is my first year. I have about 8 of them up right now.
that's awesome, Jack.
So I am going to
You want to see Jack?
make it. I'll be making something with the kidney beans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most obviously, I guess I would say chili.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll tell you, I canned that chili base this past year, and it was the best. So I'm gonna do that again. But I'm trying to, and I'm not Susan. I'm so sorry. Every time I try to film like for her freezer clean out, I can't get over how low my freezer stuff is getting. I've been doing a good job at it, and I never film anything.
If anyone wants to see my messy craft room, that video comes out. Actually, that video is officially out on my other channel. It is bad, but it looks better already. But I wanted to show the phases of it. So phase one, cleaning out the craft room. And what got it messy was we had company and we threw ministry bags in there.
Hey,
I have been working through so many ministry bags. It's crazy.
that's Blackberry Rock Homestead. Glad you're with us.
We gave you a shout out earlier.
Yep, you got a shout out today. Thank you for supporting.
So thank you for coming in.
Well, I can't wait to watch your video then.
It's really messy. It's really
That's okay.
It's really like it's more embarrassing than the zucchini bread without zucchini story. It's more embarrassing than that.
That's so funny.
But maybe it will inspire someone to go into a room of their house and just try to start decluttering it. Because if you don't work on it, it'll just get worse.
It's
So
true.
I want to be able to go into my craft room and be able to craft. I want to be able to go in my craft room and organize my homeless stuff in there so that I can get some of the homeless stuff that's being stored in my daughter's room out of her room. Now she only comes like a few weekends a month, because she's older now.
Yeah.
I want to get the stuff out of there. Also, if we have company again, I don't want to have to worry about throwing stuff in there. So I've been going through boxes, and some stuff, like I'd bag up all the t-shirts and put the size on them. And I have boxes of socks and boxes of gloves, and, I'm sorting everything out. And then, but some of the winter clothes that were for women, I actually put those bags in my car and redonated them
Really?
to the Open Door, where they give clothing to these young pregnant mothers. So
Wow.
I've been donating the women's clothes over there. And I'm not worried about donating the out of season clothes to them, because I know they have 2 sheds in the back
Excuse
to
me.
store things. So I've been redonating some of that, because I don't have enough room to store out of season clothes. I already have a whole
Right.
trunk full of t-shirts,
Right.
but they're sorted by size. So they're in my trunk all the time, but they're organized, very, very organized. So yeah, it's just part of the ministry. If I ever run into someone, I can pop the trunk and say, "Hey, would you like some t-shirts?" And
There
I
you
can
go.
out the
There you
side.
go.
This is women's, this is men's. And there's 3 t-shirts in every Ziploc, in every gallon size bag. There's at least 3 t-shirts. Less if they're bigger sizes. And of course, sometimes on the smalls, you can get 4 of them in there because they're so tiny.
Jamie, I don't think so. I have to, my sister is just texting me, guys, can you guys just pray for my mom and dad? They have to go and take their dog,
Gail's
Daisy Doodle.
Gail's
Yeah.
a real mess. She didn't put the zucchini in her zucchini bread, and then she showed her messy craft room. I should call my main channel Gail's Southern Mess.
That's terrible. Why?
Because
I'm
I
sorry.
did my zucchini bread and I showed everybody my messy craft room. I seriously considered deleting that video. I was so embarrassed, but I was like, no, it might help somebody. And I wanted to join the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I wanted to join her collab. And
Yeah.
so after we finish the craft room, we're going to move into the utility room, and we got some cleaning to do in there as well.
Yeah, there's a lot I want to get organized and just dump. I mean, I've dumped so much, but
Oh yeah, my dumpster is sitting on the front porch,
yeah.
and I have been just loading it. I throw it away, or I redonate it. Sometimes I get t-shirts that I don't think are appropriate for a Christian ministry to hand out.
Okay.
And other times they're a little bit more worn than I want. I'm not overly picky because some of them are living outside, but I want them to be pretty decent. I want them to be better than what they have. So
Yeah, yeah.
let's go with my own judgment on it.
Right, right.
I have gone through so much stuff in the past 2 weeks of ministry stuff.
Hey, Susan, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here.
Oh, yard art video. Awesome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes. The Hillbilly Chicken Ranch has 3 collaborations going on right now.
Yes, she does.
Decluttered Challenge 24, where you show yourself decluttering something and put it out as a video and tag her channel. Gail's Busy Living Craft Room may be a mess, but it's blessed. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. Then she has hashtag freezer cleanout 24, where you clean out your freezer on the video, and she adds it to a playlist. Then she has hashtag cleaning hacks 24, where you show your cleaning hacks, whether they be all natural made things or store bought things, ways that you clean certain things in your house.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's the only one I haven't joined yet is the cleaning hacks. I haven't joined that one yet, but I've joined the other two.
Yeah. I never have my camera with me, you know?
Yeah.
So,
My phone is my camera, and my phone has been the battery's going down. Like, I know my phone is going downhill, and I'm going to probably have to purchase one at some
right.
during this
Right.
year. Rob's Allotment Gardening. Yeah, I checked out some of your videos the other day, seeing if I could learn some gardening stuff from you. I like to do that. Go check out gardening channels and see what I can learn.
I'm the same way, Jamie. I truly am.
Yeah. If you're going to have it hanging around forever before you redonate it or do whatever you're going to, literally yesterday, I got 3 bags of winter women's clothes. I put them in my car. I drove to the open door and I left them at their door. And then I got some men's clothes. They weren't real nice, but I threw them away because I was like, it's going to be too long before I can go somewhere to donate those. So I actually had to throw some stuff away, but I have to get through all these bags so I can get the organization I want for my house.
Well, yeah, it's a lot to go through. I'm still going through stuff. When I closed the brick and mortar of the business, everything got brought here. So I'm still cleaning up stuff. I have so much stuff. The garage, the shed, the guest room, closets, just stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah,
So,
I have a whole closet in the craft room that has shelves. So that's going to be a great place to store things. And I'll be able to get back to doing crafts again.
Jamie, I understand. I hate dusting. It's got to get done though, but that's one chore I don't like to
Oh,
do.
I know. And you're like, oh, I'll put this in the yard sale. Yeah, but when are you going to get to the yard sale? So,
You
yeah,
know,
I've
that's
been cleaning by pitching things myself. You're going to fix it later. You're going to mend it later. You're going to do this later. But it's just sitting there.
so
And
I started cleaning out stuff and I got 2 boxes put away and I said, "Oh, I'm going to do a yard sale, right? Come spring, we're going to do a yard sale." And I looked at that and I said, "Who am I kidding? Let's take it to donation. There is not ever going to be a yard sale here."
let me tell you what I've decided about yard sales. I did them literally years and years in a row with my mom. And as I get older, I'm just like, it's more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah,
All the trouble you go through getting it together,
I
pricing it
know. You're
in the air,
exhausted.
you're exhausted, and you look down and you got 20, 40, $60 and you're like, man, I spent all this week on it or 2 weeks.
Right.
Forget it. Just forget it. I'd rather just donate it.
Me too.
I
Let somebody
need
go
to
get
go
some
through
joy
it.
out of it.
I need to go through some of the stuff out there because there's probably some stuff I can use for ministry out there in the
Yeah.
shed that can be donated into the ministry.
Yeah.
Of course,
Jamie, that's one of the reasons why I don't purchase a lot of stuff that's like, I guess, knickknacks in a sense. Like I used to have a lot of different chickens that would sit around and I just don't because let's be real. Those need to be taken down and they need to be washed in soapy hot water and then put back up after you wipe and clean the shelves off. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm done. Simple. The less is more, keeping it simple,
Mhm.
you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, bye, Blackberry Rock. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Bye, Luann.
My throat is so scratchy. It hurts.
My allergies are bad. This morning I was just
Yeah.
kind of like coughing and just kind
Yeah.
of like when my allergies get bad, it kind of acts up my wheezing and my breathing.
Yeah.
So you hear me breathing in my video. It's not like I have heart problems or anything. I have asthma and
That's hard with the allergies.
yeah. And I hear myself occasionally. I'll put out a video and I'll go, oh my gosh, you can hear me breathing.
Yep.
But
Do you have anything does anybody have anything that they want to ask us? That's a great thing. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
See, and also a lot of the stuff, like I don't have small kids anymore, so I don't have a lot of kids stuff to sell, which usually is what is sells, I think, a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
it's really well. When I had
yeah,
girls,
so
they sold really, really well.
yeah, so I'm not gonna, I'd rather just donate it, let somebody else be able to enjoy the way that I enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, any questions for us? There you go, Gail. Here's one for you.
It's a
Is that a hydrangea?
hydrangea. Hmm? It's not mine. It's not my hydrangea. It's uh,
Yeah,
it's just a,
no, Jamie.
it's just a picture from Pixabay. I didn't grow this one. Hydrangeas are very temperamental, but it's
They
my
are.
mom's favorite flower.
They are.
My favorite flower. Actually, I was trying to remember how to go change this picture to something else, and I was like, "Where did I find this little feature?"
I have no idea, but it is on there because you know what? It is, I forget where it's at, but it is on there. Huh.
Yeah, there's several things you can do. Little things.
I don't have the little paper clip next to my name at the top. Isn't that weird?
Paperclip.
You know how it says that we're together, like live together, and it's streaming on both our channels? Mine doesn't show it.
Oh,
Although it says I'm live, but it doesn't show. It's,
that.
yeah.
Trying to remember. I was trying to remember if I was in here under my channel or under your channel.
No, it says you're live, but I see the
Yeah.
little link together. I don't
Mhm.
know. It's
Hmm.
weird. And
I
there's
have,
few. I mean, I know there's people on my channel. I love marigolds too. My favorite flower to grow are the petunias. I love petunias. I think they're so pretty.
yeah, I like zinnias. They're just really easy to grow,
Those are
and
pretty too.
I like them because you can cut them, and they make really nice cut flowers for the inside of your yard. And there's so many different colors,
Yeah. Why?
and
That's great, Val.
not all flowers are good for cut flowers, but zinnias are.
Zinnias are.
Mhm.
What are the other ones? Sunflowers are great if they're the smaller ones. I
Yeah,
know, me too. I love petunias. They're so beautiful.
I
What are
have
the other
a
ones?
lot of sunflowers planted in my yard. It is going to
Yeah.
be a sunflower.
Well, that was my hope, is to grow a bunch of flowers so I can go out and get fresh cut flowers and bring in here on a weekly thing. Because when I used to go to PA weekly, I would buy them up there because they were like literally 5 flowers for $1. So might as well do it, right?
Mhm.
Yes, the purple and white petunias are gorgeous. Absolutely.
I have some petunias growing. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if they came up or not yet.
Well, I'll tell you this. Mine I had growing out in my front. I just left. They went to seed, so maybe they'll reseed themselves. We'll
Rob
find out.
Lotman Garden says he grows about 500 petunias
Oh,
every year.
oh, I love that.
Imagine how
That's so
pretty that would
beautiful.
be. I seen this one guy, and I'm trying to remember what his channel name was, but he had a whole field of sunflowers. And then
Yeah,
another year, he had a whole field of pumpkins. It was crazy.
yeah.
So you guys are going to have to give me best wishes on growing these giant pumpkins because I'm not growing them for any other reason than just to challenge myself and see if I can do it. Last year,
That's
I got
awesome.
3 regular pumpkins, 2 white pumpkins, a bunch of gourds.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, it's got. I do have to leave a little earlier today because I have pretzels and donuts to do
Yeah, that's fine.
before tonight.
Yeah, that's fine. We've
So
covered most
it's
of the, and we covered everything on my paper here.
and we covered my shout outs, and we'll hang another 10 minutes, and it gives us an hour and a half up here.
Okay.
That'll be 4 o'clock.
I will be back up live on Friday at 10:30.
Okay.
I hear you go. You are going to plant them again. this year as well. Yes, I'm going to plant 7 varieties of giant pumpkins, and I am not even going to try to tell you that I'm going to get any. I'm just going to try.
So, Rob, let me ask you this question. What is your talk to me about petunias and how you get them to grow? Because there's times I'll bring them home and I don't know if it's the way I hang them out here, but I don't know if I don't know what it is, but they don't last that long. That's what bothers me so much.
Yeah, they seem temperamental a little bit, I've
But
noticed.
the ones I put in the ground flourished last year of petunias, but the hanging pots, they were gorgeous and then they died. I was very
Thank you, Jan.
thanks, Jan. Look at that, Jan. Woohoo, Jan.
And I
So,
know she means them because she's already friends with us.
yeah.
So yay.
Yay. Yay.
Yay. So
So, we already talked about dinner. You're having barbecue chicken tonight?
barbecue chicken, and I'm gonna have some fresh lettuce out of the garden. Uh, one of those yucky store-bought tomatoes because I don't have anything else. I'm probably gonna put some carrots in there,
That's okay.
and maybe some. Every once in a while, I like to put like walnuts or pecans or something like that in them too. In my
Okay. I am not a
else
nut
I'll do.
person
Either
in
green beans
food.
or broccoli, maybe. We're
Yeah.
gonna do all green vegetables tonight. We're just gonna fill up on vegetables. My husband loves barbecue chicken, so he'll be excited about that part.
So, yep, I've heard different things about watering schedule, so I try to let it get dry, then water. Um, that's how I water my
I'm
pecan.
gonna try not to
I'm
over.
reading. I'm reading Kathleen's thing, so that's how I water my pecans. But Kathleen likes pecans in her salad. Not. Well, I'm talking about petunias. I'm sorry. I was reading that at the same time.
Yeah,
So yeah, the watering schedule. Hey, Joe at Grow Big TV, welcome in.
hi Joe.
We're glad you're here.
Yep. So I got a couple more pumpkin areas to get ready because I only prepared 3 areas. I picked one more spot this morning. That makes 4. So if I'm going to grow one of each variety, I still have quite a few places.
Yeah, yeah. When do you have to have your pumpkins in by?
Well, according to Ryan with Heavenly Hills Homestead, he plants his giant pumpkins in April. So I think because they're bigger, they take longer. So I'm going to go ahead and plant mine next month.
Okay. Ours has to be in by the end of July, I think.
Usually for regular pumpkins, I usually do like May or early June.
Okay.
Because these are giant pumpkins, I'm going to plant them earlier because they're going to. Man, I was watching one of his videos this morning just to see if I could get any advice from him in the video about how to grow these pumpkin seeds he sent me. And I don't know if I got any advice from him, but I was just mesmerized by some of the stuff in his garden. He had this huge, huge, huge pumpkin. I was like, whoa. He said, it wasn't there a week ago. And then I just look again and boom, there's a pumpkin there. And that's what happened to me.
Okay. Yeah. I've had that. So it's funny. I had last year. Yeah, it was last year before I got my chickens moved out. I feed them pumpkins and everything. Well, guess what started growing and the vine started going up and all over, but we had to cut it all down when we were cleaning the coop to get the chickens moved back out there. So I'm looking, it's supposed to Friday and Saturday, it's supposed to be in the 60s here, close to the 60s. So maybe I'll be able to get out over the weekend.
Do you have anything actually in the ground outside?
I did radishes and lettuce and that, and they're growing and they germinated out there. I direct sowed and they germinated.
That's why I usually skip the grow light and go straight to the in ground because
Never had this problem, and and I have to stop talking about it because it just infuriates me. Because what do I do with those seeds? They're somewhere down in there that they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
you know?
That's why I try not to plant, like if I'm going to plant a little bit early, I try not to plant all of my seed. So I haven't invested the whole entire pack into something
Yes.
that's not
Yes.
happen. So what I do is I have those little Tic Tac
Yep.
size containers. So when I get done, I will put them in the container and label them.
Right.
And if those seeds don't come up within the allotted period of time, I will put some more seed in there. Like I'm impatient that way. I
But
will.
I did that last week. I did the same thing. I planted a few more of those pepper seeds that I want, and it's not been a week yet, so we'll see.
I'm excited to see what these banana squash are going to look like. I looked at the pictures of them last night and they looked really interesting. So I was excited to get some kind of weird squash variety. And I did enter the IBG seed swap for 2024 with the Indiana Backyard Gardener. If you're looking to still get into a seed swap, go over to Indiana Backyard Gardener seed swap. And if I have a moderator that could put the link to her video of the seed swap in the chat.
I was watching.
Check that out. So I sent in I emailed her 5 seeds I wanted and 5 seeds I'm going to send. And then you put in $4 worth of postage. So I added 1 extra stamp, just not to be too cheap. And then I added in 3 of my sage seeds that I home saved as extra. So I ended up sending.
Joe, is that next Tuesday, your guest?
So if you want to enter a seed swap,
Yeah.
they're going to.
Guys, if you don't know anything about Joe Grow Big TV, he has some really great guests on there about gardening and soil and everything that you can possibly imagine. So you might want to go check him out and also maybe try and go watch one of his past lives that he's had about worms and everything.
You want to go learn some stuff
You're going to
about.
learn something. Even if you think you may know it, you may learn something new.
Yeah, go to Grow Big TV on the live section
Yep.
and listen to some of his interviews because he gets some really big, good guests
He
that
does.
are really good gardeners. So he even had Luke on from Am I Gardener, lots and lots of big name gardening people. So go by and check out his lives and see if you can find somebody you want to watch. But there's a lot of good guests over there. And
So on April 2nd, for the guest on Thursday, they have a gardening by the moon and compost. That's pretty cool because the Farmer's Almanac talks about gardening by the moon. I find that very,
I think
very
it's
interesting.
I've never heard I haven't ever heard of. I've heard of that, but I've never heard how it works.
Right. Neither have I. I haven't researched it or studied it to know.
I'm just kind of like, I don't know everything there is about gardening, but I've learned a lot on YouTube, and I can't even intelligently speak everything I want to speak about it.
Right.
But I just kind of put a combo together of all the things I've heard you're supposed to compost your yard with. And I do a lot of composting in place. And I just get lucky because I listen to what they say and I don't do any soil tests. I don't do any of that. I just put a good combo of that stuff everybody's telling me to put in there. And I hope for the best.
That's a great thing.
Every year, I get surprised by how good certain things do and disappointed by how other things do. So that's just part of gardening, surprise and disappointment. It's just part of it all.
Right. Right. Yeah, I knew last year my soil, I knew that it really needed to be dealt with. So I really worked on it last year. I didn't really grow much last year. I decided to just leave. I could just tell. So I did a nice compost in there from New England. I think it was New England compost I got at my local nursery and added that in and everything too. So, and it looks really good now. I judge my compost one by the look and the smell of it. Do you know what I mean? Like
the look, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're very welcome, Joe. We appreciate you and all that you do.
I listened to my gardener talk this morning about whether you should grow your squash or your pumpkins in mounds. and he had a really good explanation on that. He said that if you're growing it in a raised bed, you're keeping some of that moisture inside. Because the reason they put things in mounds was for drought tolerance purposes. So if you're growing in a raised bed, it's not as necessary as it used to be. But that's kind of like an old school thing. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're growing straight in the ground, then yes, you should probably go ahead and mound up your squash and your pumpkins. But
So
I
I've never done that before.
mounds.
Yeah, never. I never did it with watermelon, cantaloupe. I never did any of that. And did I ever tell you the story when I had the most beautiful cantaloupe growing and my husband mowed all over it thinking it was all weeds?
I have these bricks in my yard and cinder blocks and stuff and logs. And if I have something growing outside of the box, outside of the raised bed, I will protect it with bricks and all kinds of stuff to make sure, because my husband has nipped the pot, the side of the pot, with the weed eater and put holes in my pots. And I finally
Yes.
figured it out because I was watching him one day. And
Mm-hmm.
so now at the bottom of the pot, I'm putting like a brick or a cinder block or a log or something to keep him from nicking holes in my pots. So I
Yeah.
found it, I was not happy. It was like, man, do you have any idea how much these pots cost, especially the bigger ones? If you did, you wouldn't be putting holes in it. And in that year when he did that, I said, "You owe me a pot from Walmart."
That's right.
I
That's
made
right.
him get me one of those barrel top pots from Walmart. So I made, because I knew he had been doing that, I said, "You owe me a pot." So I made him go to Walmart and buy me a nice big pot
Yep.
to make
I
up for all the ones he had put holes in. Because I was,
I you too, Joe. Thanks for yeah, we'll catch up later. When I look at compost, I mean, to be honest, it has to be dark. There's just a smell of earth to it. And it has to be broken down. You don't want big chunks of things in there like wood chips and stuff. It needs to be broken down pretty much. So that's how I do it. I mean, that's how I look at compost.
yeah.
Hey, Lori's World, welcome in. Yep, you too, Robyn. Have a good night. So my sister, I gotta call my mom and dad. Their little dog, Daisy Doodle, she's like 16. Um, she's shutting down and they've been dealing with this. So they have to go at 4 o'clock their time to go put her down. So if you can just pray for my mom and dad, because we know what that's like,
Yes, I do. Yeah.
you
Had a
know.
kitty. I had a kid. One of my kitties been sick lately, so
Is
I
she doing better?
she's moving around more. She's been spending a lot of time in the living room, and this morning though she was overextended by the food bowl, and
Oh,
so I just go in and hold her and pet her and love on her and pray for her and all of that, because I just don't want to lose my kitty.
right,
She's only
right.
4 years old. She's still young.
Yeah, yeah,
Really
she's too
evil.
young. Do you have any questions for Gail or myself before we go? I think it's been a good chat. Are there things that if there's here, I'm going to do this again. If there's anything that you guys want to talk about, there is my email, and then there is Gail's email. If you have any suggestions, email us. We'd be happy
Or
to,
questions or want to come on.
if you want to come up. Yeah, we'd be happy to have you all. Honestly, it's really good to have extra people because, we learn from each other and yeah, don't you think?
Yep. I learn new stuff all the time.
Me too. Me
I think
too.
I was in Grow Big TV when I was hearing them talk about fish emulsion. And I'm sure I'd heard people talk about it before, but I was finally listening. And so I
Yeah.
started looking for it, and I found some at Walmart. Probably not the best quality ever.
Well, right.
It's on my radar now. So next time I go to the garden center here local, I'll try to find a better quality one than when
Right.
not as
Right. I
you
get mine from my friend Steven. He's Amish farmer, of course. He makes all that.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I have you too. Uh, you too. Thanks for coming in. Is that Gear Gridden 19?
Gear Garden 19.
Yeah. And then he makes that stuff that I use. It's a root strengthener, so it grows really hardy, healthy roots. So I need to get some of the things out and up pot them, and I'm going to add that into the roots
I
of
need
some
to
of
come
my
in there
plants.
and mix up some more of that fish emulsion and put it
Yeah.
on some of my plants. I also have a mason jar of banana water. I need to go pour that on something too. Just
I'm not sure. Watch how much of the fish emulsion you use, because that can cause the soil to get too. Joe, if you're still in there, is it too acidy? The pH, does it mess with that? I think that's what it does. So watch how much you use of it.
yeah, I'm kind of putting a little bit in there and then putting a bunch of water because I can't really measure it because it's kind of coagulated. It's not like it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
It's not the what I purchased wasn't right, but I don't want to waste the money and go. I mean, I'll replace it eventually, but I probably should have took it back to Walmart because yeah, I'm sure it's
I
not
would.
to be. I'm sure it's not supposed to be a solid.
No, it should not be.
It
It's
should
a
not be
liquid.
a solid. It should be a liquid, not a solid.
Yeah, it should be a liquid. I wouldn't use it then. It may not be good for you to use. It should be a liquid.
It should be.
Yep. Actually, Jamie, I do. I put my hands across my plants, my little seeds, and do this to mimic air,
Hmm.
like the wind or something.
Yeah,
So,
you're supposed to talk to your plants too. Sing to them and talk to them
yeah.
about the
Well,
vibe.
I have been. I'm like, where are you? Get
Oh, and
out here.
also on your tomato plants, you're supposed to beat them to mimic the wind, and it's
Yes.
supposed to help them get stronger roots.
Yeah. Okay. Do you hear that? That's good information.
Yeah,
Less is more. That's right, Rob.
that's
So I think I need to go call mom and dad really quick
okay. Understandable.
and go
Thank
talk to
you guys
them.
for coming in. We appreciate all of you coming and spending some of your day with us and hanging out with us to hear about
Yeah.
gardening and jokes and shout outs and all the stuff we're doing. So we will
Next
see
Wednesday
you
we'll be back out
Saturday.
at 2:30 again. Next Wednesday we'll be here for more jokes, laughter, and we're not sure of the topic yet. Today was about compost and stuff, and I think that did well.
Yeah.
So be blessed, and we'll see you next week. And I'll chat with you all later. I'm sure I'll chat with you soon. Bye, everybody.